Everyone knows the location of the Empire State Building and the Golden Gate Bridge, but only a few people know these buildings were constructed during the Great Depression. The Great Depression was a tragic event in the 1930s that left 12 million Americans unemployed. As people who live in America, it is important to acknowledge historic events that have brought existing programs into effect. I've done some research about the Great Depression that made me learn more about this topic. By learning more about the Great Depression, you will be informed of how the United States became a better country for its citizens. First, I will explain what happened before and during the Great Depression. Second, how it brought the emergence of a four-term president. And lastly, how it brought important change to the United States. So first, what caused the Great Depression and what happened during this crisis? By understanding the consequences that led to the Great Depression, you will have a better understanding of what happened during this time. So it all began in October of 1929 when the stock market crashes, and it causes due to the non-circulation of money. So back then, like during the 1920s, people would buy stocks, but they would just pay $4 if it costed 10, so they would leave $6 on credit. So that kind of created inflation. Besides the stock market crash, another factor that caused the Great Depression was that previously American banks loaned large sums of money to European countries to assist them during World War I. According to the Encyclopedia of Economics in 2008 by PhD Gene Smiley from the University of Iowa, during that time real GNP fell 30.5% and consumer prices fell 24.4%. This economical disaster not only affected Americans, but it affected the world as well. As you can see, this one?
You can plug it back.
Oh.
Just use the mouse.
Alright, so as you can see, millions of Americans were in search of withdrawing their money at the banks. However, when they were there and they reached the teller, all the money was gone. So basically, it was a sense of desperation and frustration to know that all your savings had been lost. During this time, President Hoover was reluctant to act because he was optimistic that this was a transient crisis. So it was just like a matter of time, so they could leave it. However, during this time, people and families were the reflection of they lost their money. It was a reflection of poverty, of the loss of their jobs, homeless. So you see a family right here just like thinking about what was her future going to be like and her children. Certainly President Hoover was a Republican president during that time, and he was seen as a weak president when he said, "The people support the government, but the government cannot support the people." So during this time, Americans were frustrated with such a situation where change was necessary. Now that I've discussed what led to the Great Depression and how it affected millions of Americans, I will move on to how it brought a four-term president. The emergence of a hero and a four-term president, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. So Americans were in search of prosperity and change. During this time, the 1932 presidential election was crucial to change the hands of the presidency. During this presidential election, FDR won by a huge margin and began modifying the American government. He was a very optimistic and charismatic president. As you can see, that's him on the left corner. Right here in the bottom, he is using fireside chats to convince the American public that the smartest way to slowly start leaving the Depression was to start investing in the economy by spending money. As part of his modification of the government was to incorporate programs like the Tennessee Valley Authority. These programs came to be known as the New Deal programs. So the Tennessee Valley Authority project, was basically a program to boost electricity and water throughout southern states. The Civilian Conservation Corps was basically to employ youth people from ages 18 to 24 to begin working by constructing roads, bridges, national parks, and other things. Among other programs that helped boost the economy was FDIC and Social Security. So after describing FDR's presidency, I will now talk about the effects of the Great Depression in America. Although the Great Depression lasted 10 years, it would help the U.S. bring change. The industrial force in America helped end the Great Depression because it began trade and purchasing with European countries during World War II, 1941 and 1943. According to an article by political scientist of Cornell University, Louis Hyman, published in 2011 by Bloomberg Business, by the end of the war, the U.S. aerospace industry was 4 times the size of the car industry. It is important to acknowledge the impact the New Deal programs have had till this day, because in present day, we still have FDIC, which is the Federal Deposit Insurance Company. So every time you guys go to the bank, I'm pretty sure you guys see that sticker on the door, or next to the teller. So that has boosted confidence in Americans to know that at least partially, like part of their money is gonna be returned. And another great program that still exists to this day is Social Security. So this program grants benefits and it provides pensions, and it also makes retirement easier. So you see a woman right here, she's like receiving her check, all happy, no more work. Okay, to conclude, now you have a better understanding of the Great Depression and how it changed America. It is important to recognize the impact the Great Depression had in changing America. First, I talked about what happened before and during the Great Depression. Second, how it brought the emergence of a fortunate president. And lastly, how it changed America. One of the famous quotes that he said, and I want you guys to know, is that whenever you guys face a problem, just think about these words. The only fear to fear is fear itself.